tell them dream on. Weak niggas tryna diss, but my team strong. Street niggas eat with a better think long. She a fan, sing my shit like it's a theme song. With your friends.
The station with the best music.
Hey, 450. It's your boy W over here chillin' with Classy. I done been played before. My niggas ain't come just to shoot shots. Nah, nigga, we came to score. You was just talk tough. Now when they show up, tell me what you anxious for. I come with that aura, they take us. A feeling you can't restore. 450 the channel like a nugget scramble. They only gon' hate us more.
It's a productive vibe with Classic and Quinn on Hot 702.5 FM.
Happy Wednesday, y'all. Welcome to a productive vibe.
Happy Wednesday.
I feel like vibing, actually. I feel like vibing.
I need to get some energy. It was a long day. So hopefully it just kind of come. My energy.
Hey, y'all, send Quinn some good energy. If you listening, watching, we need some good, solid energy on today. It's hump day, so I know exactly what it is, what we turned into. Looking forward to this productive vibe show, though. My goal is to really play a lot of the new artists, new music that we've received, and at the same time, have some good coaching conversation. And today, only today, we're going to reflect on what are 3 solid, realistic questions you need to ask yourself to gear up for your next play? We're in the beginning of 22. Folks are really talking about doing things differently, getting different outcomes, having new endings. We talked about that on the last show. And part of it is I'm hopeful that people are being realistic with themselves about where they are headed, where they want to go, and how they're preparing to get there. So we have a good conversation set up around 3 solid questions that you can implement and ask yourself, talk to yourself about, and get yourself to a place where you know you're ready to make your next play. Or get yourself to a place where you know there's some work to be done, but you know, how do you attack that work? How was y'all week this week, y'all? You know, I want to know about the plays. What plays have you made? Throw them in the chat, the conversations, call us in. I'll throw a number in the chat for this conversation. Call us and let us know how you're doing. We'll make sure you get plugged in. But Quinn, how was your week?
Okay week. Today is a long day for me. Just today, I don't know why. Like I don't have no energy today.
Yeah.
Work has been busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but week so far, it is hump day, so it's going good.
Okay. This has been a challenging week thus far. I know we're only on Wednesday, but I always like to use my weekend too as a part of my week. So it's been a challenging weekend, and it's more challenging because there's a lot more movement. So a lot more stuff to do, a lot more stuff to get done. For Npm Entertainment Studios, we are really working on building this community. We're starting with our nonprofit organization, talking through how to get more artists engaged, how to get more artists to make plays. We're thinking artists and athletes for sure as our target audience, but creators, figuring out how you get to your next play and what does execution look like. And I think some of our conversation today is gonna take place around execution, because that's what I think people are missing. Yeah. Sometimes people's weeks or plays are long and drawn out because they're really not executing. We're busy, right? We're moving around, we're doing stuff, but the execution is not there.
You gotta make the time to execute.
So it's been a good week, though. I'm not going to complain. There's stuff to do, and we've always prayed and asked for continuous stuff to do. So we'll work through that. I do want to jump into the vibe. I'm not sure what y'all drinking on. I'm not sure what y'all doing today. I'm not sure what y'all drink at.
Man, I don't know.
Quinn having a long day, y'all.
I don't know.
Quinn some. Send Quinn some encouragement, y'all. We got to get to a certain place. But let's start with the first vibe. By the time we come back, maybe she'll be ready to kick it with us. Y'all send Quinn some love. Our first song, let's go with goals. We got some goals to get Quinn to a better place and you guys to make some plays. So let's start there. We'll be back.
Money got me in more. Money got me in more. Good credit goes, 401k goes. Money got me and more, yeah. Gotta keep me a roll, yeah. That's just how things go, yeah. Money got me and more, yeah. Wanna travel the globe, yeah. See the light like a straw, yeah. Put your goals on go, yeah. Good credit on your own. Buy a home, pay a loan. Business plan go right. You feel once rewrite it. Couple friends got indicted, but future plans ain't like this. Get the money like a running back. Push forward like a running back. Push forward and a running back. Falling off, ain't no time for that. Take action, go get it. Let the Lord be the witness. Sit back and count digits. Show the world that you did it. Gotta stay up and go more. Cut some money up slow mo. Future bright like a rose gold. Being broke is a no-no. Good credit goes. 401k goes. On your own business go. That's just how things go, yeah. You don't wanna be broke. You don't wanna be broke, yeah. You don't wanna be broke. Better stay up and more, yeah. Goes. Money got me and more, yeah. Gotta keep me a roll, yeah. That's just how things go, yeah. Goes. Money got me and more, yeah. Gotta keep me a roll, yeah. That's just how things go, yeah. If eyes are in heaven, I finally got your message. You took me through the struggle just to lead me to the flex. Now my life is exciting. Stacking money, living righteous. The street life could provide this. Plus my mama didn't like it, so I left for college that summer. My friends hustling for a come up. Saying next summer, they summer. Then next summer. My mom told me know your worth. Go hoop, man, and put it work. It's best to be on somebody's team. Then they end up on somebody's shirt. Kids starving. Ready to do. 30 years old in a club with no dough, no on the go. The music life is what I chose. 20K dog off one show. Out of state sold out shows. Live life variation goes. Good credit goes. 401k goes. On your own business go. That's just how things go, yeah. You don't wanna be broke. You don't wanna be broke, yeah. You don't wanna be broke. Better stay up and more, yeah. Goes. Money got me and more, yeah. Gotta keep me a roll, yeah. That's just how things go, yeah. Goes. Money got me and more, yeah. Gotta keep me a roll, yeah. That's just how things go, yeah. Money got me and more, yeah. Money got me and more, yeah.
Welcome back to a productive vibe. Hopefully you guys are vibing with us. Let us know how the songs go. The artists love the feedback. We do talk with the artists. We give them some feedback about their music, things that they really submit to us, the tracks, the mood that it puts you in. So we do give feedback, and if you have feedback for the artists, let us know about it. So we are talking today and really more or less gearing up for plays. Like, part of it is to be the best playmaker that we can be. And the other part of it is understanding when you're in a position to make plays and or not. Like, it's not always the easy line to say, am I ready to move forward? But there is some questioning that we can do for ourselves. And I think as a coach, I try and give more freedom to ask yourself the right questions to get yourself the right answer, right? I think coaching is not more about assessing always where you are versus ask yourself a question and does it align or match up to where you're headed in general. So I got a few questions. I want to tap in here because I want to make sure that it makes sense. I want to make sure that we are getting like the best probable outcome. And I think part of it is focusing on ourselves. So question number one, I think you'll like this question. Do you have a vision? You know how many people move without goals and visions? They just know they want to be rich. They know they want to get a new job. They know they want to have $1 million. They know they want to do something different than what they're doing. Right?
What's the vision and the plan to get you there?
Yeah, what's the plan? And I had a conversation with somebody and they were talking about, they are a millionaire by assets, by cash on hand, things like that. And they were talking about the first time they made $1 million. They didn't even know what to do with the money. And part of it was they never planned for becoming a millionaire. They wanted to become a millionaire. They became a millionaire and didn't plan for being a millionaire. Like, once you make the goal, then what?
Then what, right?
I think visioning helps us with understanding what to do, when, next, and why. It even eliminates what not to do. So when you think about visioning and you create goals and you're working towards what it looks like in its perfect state, say the vision is to become a hairstylist. Your hair cute today.
Thank you.
Mine is not, and I'm trying to. You see, I just put out this ponytail. So if my vision is to get where she is, I should stop doing stuff like this, right? So your goals are going to be the same way. If you're trying to get to a certain place, like if this is the outcome of the perfect piece and mine is the start, I can't do stuff like cut my hair. I need the hair length, right? So cutting the hair wouldn't be a part of my next steps because it doesn't fit into the actual goal. I think giving ourselves visions and goals, it gives us parameters around the work.
That's a good one. That was a good one. I really like that question. Yeah.
Okay. I deal with it. I deal with it with some of my clients, and I think that's a good question because sometimes they don't even consider it. Like, you want to be an artist, and then what? Oh, you want to create a visual, create a video, and then what? Oh, you want to get 50,000 followers, and then what?
Right.
So the then what is the question I'm really asking. Do you have a vision? And if you have a vision, you know, and then what? What happens after the vision is set, right? So that's one question. The second question, and I think this is a good one, and we have not touched on this yet, and we need to talk a little bit more about this in our day-to-day conversations, but have you decided on what cannot, what does not, what will not make the next stage in the journey?
Ooh.
Girl, it'd be one of them funky questions. People be acting like all of the stuff that they going through can make the next step in their life.
And it
cannot.
can't.
It can't.
It cannot.
So there are a lot of things that are going to get dropped by the wayside. Let me just time it here because it's not going right. It's going to be a lot of things that are dropped by the wayside that have to be dropped by the wayside in order for you to get the rest of the stuff off the wayside.
Right.
You don't have the same capacity. I think we sometimes think, and I'm using very small, tangible pieces, right? I'm going to go work out every day. That's a good one. Go to the gym every day. But right now, you don't have the capacity to get your work done throughout your day. So how do you add something else onto your day?
Right.
And you don't remove nothing from your day.
Right.
Right. We have to be realistic about our capacity. When you think about your goals, you ask yourself, do I have a vision? I do. What can't make this vision? Sometimes it's the company we keep. Sometimes it's the places that we frequent. Sometimes it's the thoughts that we allow to continue to derail us, whether it's distracting thoughts, whether it's, you know, life-breaking thoughts. Like, there is a way to speak life into yourself, but there's also a way to self-sabotage. And a lot of them start with your thoughts. Don't move on your thoughts alone. Like, it has to be something that you now feed yourself the right amount of energy to figure out what things can't make it to this next stage. And be confident in that. Be comfortable in it. And when we say can't make it, maybe you can pick them up at the next stage of life, but at this stage, it requires your attention, and that is taken away from the attention, whatever that may be.
You getting deep up over here.
I'm trying to make sure y'all ready to make these plays.
Yes.
And let's keep the vibe going. Like, we got enough music today that we can go for a little while. So as you're thinking about them two questions, I think I asked some real good questions. Y'all can even throw them in the chat.
Question.
Let me know. Did you vision it yet? Do you know what you're going to do? Right? Do you know what you're going to do? Where you're going? And then have you decided what can make the journey? Those two questions.
That's probably my favorite one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right, y'all go get your drinks. Throw this on. Make sure y'all listening to it. Let's go with another one. I like this track, Sanders. F you very much. Let's go with that.
You got my heart in your hands, babe, but you keep letting me fall. You got my scent on your lips, babe, but you keep wiping it off. You got your thoughts mixed with mine. I can't get you off my mind. Keep trying to give you my everything, but you don't have enough time. So I say fuck you very much if I'm not enough. Oh, babe, I don't ask for much. I say fuck you very much if I'm not enough for you, babe. I don't ask for much, but your time and your love.
Crazy.
All of the above. You've got me wrapped around your finger, waiting for your instruction. You've got me racing hard to keep up. I don't know if you love me. You give me amazingly sex. I don't know what to do next. I keep trying to give you my everything. I don't have nothing here left. So I say fuck you very much if I'm not enough. Oh, I don't ask for much. I say fuck you very much if I'm not enough for you, baby. I don't ask for much, but your time and your love, all of the above. You don't appreciate all of the love I gave. I'm talking time and time again. It seems like with you I can't win. Ooh, no.
What's happening, family? Welcome back to A Productive Vibe. We are hopeful and hoping that y'all out there making plays. That's all of what Productive Vibe is about. It's about getting in a place to harvest your winning mindset. And that's all we doing. We talking about winning. Talking about ways to win, ways to keep winning, ways to overwin, ways to double up, double down on the win. And understand when you take a loss that it can still be a win, especially if you're learning from the loss. I've taken quite a few losses, but I'm telling you I'm up. I'm telling you I'm up, and the losses have helped me get up. So we have a real conversation that's just support winning, support mindset, mental fitness, and we're asking ourselves important questions. So we've gotten through a couple of them. Let's go to the third question. What habits will support your mission? Whatever play you're trying to get to, what habits are going to support them? And do you have them? Or do you have a plan to develop those habits? I'll be honest, I've realized that one thing that is for certain is consistency.
Man.
Habit is nothing but a consistent action over time. That's all habits
You
are.
took it right out of my mouth and out of my brain.
Don't speak on it. You know, our wavelength, our energy is unreal.
No, when you read the question, the first thing that popped in my head was consistency. It's like you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get anywhere. I don't care what the vision is, how many times you wrote it down, how many times you thought about it.
Right.
If you ain't working towards it and you ain't consistent, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Not a good outcome for you.
Not a good outcome at all.
The good thing is knowing this though, right? So sometimes things are put into very complex scenarios, situations, sentences, education, and I want to make it very simple. Consistency is the habit that you need to build, right? Consistency is a habit that you can build over time. Part of the consistency in the habit is going to help you be confident because it's nothing but preparation. They're reps. So every time you get consistent in your habits, when it's time for you to put the reps or the habits into practice, it's more or less that you're prepared now and you just need to sit down and figure out the action. As simple as I said it, is as simple as we can end up doing it. Sometimes it starts with just waking up at the same day, at the same time every day.
Yeah.
That sounds simple, but it's not simple for a lot of people. And it's overlooked by a lot of people on how that starts your day off. Sometimes when you stay in bed or break your sleep cycles and try and go back to sleep or turn off your alarm system or look at Instagram first, you know, you got to get to a good place. You got to get to a place of consistency. I know one thing that I've learned is that not downloading before I go to sleep, my mind never turns off. The whole night I'm trying to figure out how to fall asleep. The whole night, like how to get my mind off of this. I had to build a habit to consistently download. Like you have to download. Also nice here. Hey girl.
Thank
We
you.
see, appreciate it. So consistently downloading at night helps me to get to a better sleep, but that had to be a habit. It can't be something that I pick it up and use it every once in a while, because every once in a while I'm gonna get good sleep. And if that's the plan, I met it. But that's not my plan. I need some awesome sleep every night,
Right.
so I can get up reflecting for the first day. And don't get me wrong, I slip on it often. There's so much work going on. I'm looking at my phone and I fall asleep looking at my phone. That's not a downloading day, but I feel it in my sleep. So you guys, think about the habits you got to create. With those habits, how can you consistently over time develop, build, pull, push those habits into helping you with your next play? Because that's what you need. What's a habit that's a general habit that everybody should pay attention to or look for or make sure that they're doing? What's a habit? And that's an off the brand question. If y'all know what it is, let me know. But what's a good habit to keep? You know, one for me,
What?
a good habit is learn something from everybody. And I know that sounds
That
like
is
not a
good.
habit, but anytime I spend time having a real conversation, longer than a couple minutes, like, how you doing? Like how you doing at the bubbler in the school building as you passing for your next class? Probably not. But the real conversations that you sit down, if you spend more than 15, 20 minutes with somebody, learn something. Get something from them that you didn't have recollection of, or get confirmation of something that you were already working on that they were able to speak to. If you build that in as a habit, guess what it does to you? It changes your listening skills. So now when people speak, I'm looking to hear somebody teach me.
Right. Never thought of it like that.
And I didn't understand it until starting to develop curriculum for my own clients that, you know, these are habits that are life habits, are going to help you in your life situations. If you can become a good listener over time, incrementally as a habit, man, you're above the plan. You can now not walk into a room thinking you know everything, because those people don't learn anything new. This was not supposed to be the talk, but I'm loving where it's going. This was the question, and they brought out some good habits. It brought out some good habits.
Definitely did.
We got another question before we go to another song. This is a good question. I think it's a good question. Are your feelings creating friction between what's real and what you're feeding? So let me ask again. Everybody has a set of feelings. Most of the world, and I'll give it to you, every 3 decisions made, 2 of them are based on feelings. Every 3 decisions made, you can think about this in your own life. Even if it's down to the clothes you wear. Every decision you make, like when I got up this morning, I'm like, oh, what I'm gonna put on? I gotta go in the office. I need to find something. The decision you make is either based on feeling or is based on realization of facts, right? So there is statistical data or something that you know to be real that's making you make the decision. Most people tend to go with facts. Feelings. So if you are making decisions based off your feelings, are you creating a friction between what's real and what you're feeding? So let me give you an awesome example. I think this is an awesome example. Do you take the time to hear people's feedback about you? If you feel that you're not a good speaker, for example, do you look for feedback to only pick up that feedback in your life? Or do you look for realistic feedback that helps you figure out if in fact you are not a good speaker or in fact you are well, but your mind has you feeding the fact that you don't speak well? We have to figure out what's driving what we're picking up and what we're using to make our next plays. If it's only feeling, and don't get me wrong, there are some strong gut feelings that you got to go with. But if it's only feeling, you have to make sure that your processes are in place so that you don't act off of feeling only. Acting off of emotions only is a low emotional intelligence, and it does not help with a lot of plays. It doesn't help you execute on things. It helps you be in your feelings.
Wow. Okay.
So when you're making decisions, when you think about things you got to do, make sure that you are understanding when you're making your decisions based on your feelings. And don't hear me wrong. Sometimes you're going to have to make a lot of decisions based on feelings. A lot of decisions need to be made based on how you feel. But don't let it be the reason why. So let me give you a great example. Fear. That's a feeling.
It's a feeling, right?
You can't make decisions based on you being fearful because sometimes you won't do them.
Right.
You decide to not go through with them. That's a bad emotional way or a feeling-based decision that'll get you in a place where you're not going to make no plays. You're going to be too fearful. You're going to be scared and feeling fearful, right? So hopefully I talked that into a way that you are understanding it. If not, leave me a chat. Leave me something in the chat and I'll definitely explain it. Right. We want you to make sure you have this information. I think that's a good question to ask yourself.
It is. It's a really good question. Make you think.
We do the first song. We need another question. Should we go on to one more?
We can go to another question.
All right.
What's the next one?
This question right here is something that you just have to do a kind of a self-starter on. Are you too familiar and comfortable to move forward on your plays? Familiarity, comfort, sometimes, man, they keep you captive.
Yeah.
And they keep you captive in the wrong relationships. They keep you captive at the wrong jobs. They keep you captive in the wrong environments.
Yes.
Truly, if you can get to a place where you can get past the comfort feeling or the familiarity, you can make some really good strides. Actually, most of your strides are going to be made in uncomfortable settings because it's where you're growing, you're learning, you're stretching yourself enough that you're not sitting in a place trying to wait for it to come to you. Comfort eats away at innovation. It eats away at next plays because it eats away at what you're thinking, more of or next. It's bringing you back to a place where you're stuck kind of in the past. I was comfortable in this relationship, so I don't think anything else is going to come that's better. So I better stick with this one because I'm not sure what's coming. Comfort sometimes have you miss out on way better.
Definitely.
Way better. So think about that when you are making comfort decisions, right? Are you too comfortable? Are you too familiar? You have to think uncommonly. You have to get to uncommon spaces. And if you ask yourself those questions when you dib and dalling in your day-to-day, I think it'll make you take more accountability.
Yeah.
I like to take accountability for being too comfortable. I can't get too comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I like comfortable settings. I like comfortable spaces. My house is comfortable. Stuff is comfortable, but I get uncomfortable to get this kind of stuff, right? You got to get uncomfortable to put yourself in positions. And I'm hopeful that people hear that being familiar and comfortable all the time means that it's no growth. It's really no plays being made. And if you got everything under control, you ain't trying hard enough. You ain't got enough going on. You got everything under control. I never have everything under control. I want to, but I never have.
I know I don't. So.
I'm with it. Yo, let's jump back into the vibe. I appreciate the conversation.
This was good.
Thank you. Let's get into it. I think next, let's throw up. I know that W and Kzilla released a song. If you guys have not, the link is in the bio. Go check out Embrace by W and Kzilla. It's a huge song, especially already in Africa, you guys. Kzilla is from Africa and gives a awesome platform to this song. They've been requesting it. It's been viewed. I think the first week we did about 10K. Our goal is to get to 30K this week. So we're working on it. We're shooting for it. And we really love to make sure that you see just something that took some time and some curating. So if you have not, go check out W and Kzilla Embrace. I'm going to play this song for you now.
Ain't you fine? Wonder what it takes to make you mine. I know plenty try to get you to change your mind. Ain't in a rush, so take your time. Embrace it. Keep my eyes to herself since I came in. Real nigga on that tongue, she can taste it. Don't waste it. Embrace it. I'm standing in a place, I spot you just looking at a place, looking at me like you're trying to get a taste. Her African drip from the motherland, I'm a beast, no way. But I'm trying to get a piece of the cake, shit pretty in the face. Lipstick and she's skinny in the waist. Oh Lord have mercy, amazing grace. Trying to comprehend and embrace what's taking place. Embrace it, like I'm the and just face it. Riding up front in a spaceship. You wanna take a trip, don't trip. I ain't racist. The black of the berry, the sweet of the juice. You can taste it, take it, make it yours. When it rains, it pours. I'm taking yours, trying to make you mine. I can wait what it takes. We can take your time. Time is off and this is every second. You bless me with your presence, let me guessing and asking questions. What's love to a nigga that hates? What's real to a nigga that's fake? How you feel? Is it real or fake? How I know you ain't a venomous snake? I guess it's benefit of the doubt. I'm a mess, I ain't messing with clout. Every breath, every second will count. Cut the check, it's a heavy amount. When we chasing, I'm on my grind. Time is off and essence, I value my time to embrace it. Ain't you fine? Wonder what it takes to make you mine. I know plenty trying to get you to change your mind. In a rush, so take your time. Embrace it. Keep my eyes to herself since I came in. Real nigga she can taste it. Don't waste it, embrace it. How can you tell when they genuine dope? Heaven and hell, at times I feel I'm living in both. Heartache lingering like the odor off of my blunt. Not really mingling, don't mean knowing what you want. She like how I walk tall, treat her like an all-star. Only like to conversate, don't believe in small talk. Ain't worried about these hoes, fuck them all. I'm a boss, get close, can you feel it rubbing off? But they ain't hearing me, my words been purity. If your ex nigga hearing me, that'll spark insecurity. Eat it like a cantaloupe, you might get a kid from me. And I got that antidote, let me give you energy. So deserve it, I like the way that you work it. Got a thing for you, I've been here before, it's this deja vu. In my past life, maybe I was made for you. I'm a UFO, fuck around and make a nigga lose control. But you can take the wheel, baby, move the boat. Move the boat. If I had to leave now, tell me what you call. Get you in that moonlight, baby, would you dance with me? Got me feeling for your touch. How you put those hands on me? You're too fly to be alone. Maybe you can land on me. As I cheap up with these actions, you can throw some bands on me. Ain't you fine? Wonder what it takes to make you mine. I don't play, try to get you to change your mind. In the rush, so take your time. Embrace it. Keep my eyes to herself since I came in. Real girl, I told you can taste it. Don't waste it. Embrace it.
So let me tell you quickly how to get connected with Npm Entertainment Studios. I want you guys to be connected first. Thank you for tuning in and joining with us. We are tapped in on IG, you guys. We connect with a lot of the artists, a lot of the athletes, a lot of the folks that we coach comes through our IG. We're at nextplay.ent. Shoot us a DM. All of our links are in the bio, but connect with us. We have Facebook, YouTube, NPM Entertainment Studios. Think about this and understand that the studios respect your time. We want to make sure that any artist that reaches out to us, access for involvement, access for community, unity, connection, we want to at least be able to give you a response or answer. You can start with a complimentary strategy session, talk through your next play. We want to see if everybody can win together before we get started. The website is open, live. We can get you joined into membership or at least get you connected with a coach. That's www.npmentertainment.com. If you're thinking that you can bless the mic, we want to make sure that you get into the hot seat segment on Hot 702.5 FM. The hot seat is for you. We want to talk to people who have a next play mentality. And if you got next, we want you here. We welcome the brand in general, artists, athletes, business owners, change leaders, anybody that has a next play mentality. The hot seat is for you. So as we continue, we want to jump back into the music, the mood, the vibe, but you guys connect in general. We look forward to hearing from you.
She made me wanna cash out. Go to school, pick up my plane. She made me wanna cash out. Take a long down, buy a house and own my land. Yeah, I know I may be hard to deal with. I do understand. Got all this love for you, baby. Let me be you. Man, she made me wanna take a trip and ask me out. All this stuff, just me and you. I'll take you all the places that you wanna go. I'll let you take control. I speed it up, slow it down, we would like to take a trip. All this stuff, just me and you. I'll take you all the places that you wanna go. I'll let you take control. Speed it up, slow it down. My baby be my baby be my number one supporter of all. I finally found the real one. Yeah, I'm finally trying to build something. Yeah, so baby, give me your hand in exchange. I give you my heart. I love you. You love me so how they gon' tear us apart. It's me and you against the world. Ready to go to war for my girl. If I pop off, she pop off. Whoa, shorty a real one. She a boss, so she cop off. Whoa, poke your lips out with your mean face. Cool. Words can explain how I want to sex on you. You know I may be hard to deal with. I do understand. I got all this love for you, baby. Let me be you. Baby, she make me wanna cash out. too hard to deal with. I don't understand. I got all this love for you, baby. Let me be your man. She made me wanna take a trip. All let's do just me and you. I'll take you on the places that you wanna go. Let's do a hit intro. I speed it up slow. She made me wanna take a trip. Come on, let's do just me and you. I'll take you all the places that you wanna go. I'll let you take control. Speed it up, slow it down.
A Productive Vibe news segment sponsored by Quinn's Shoe Teak. Ladies, complete your look with Quinn Shoe Teak. We have the latest handbags and shoe selection to complete any look for any occasion. We have everything you're looking for, from heels to sandals, handbags, crossbodies, accessories, and any selected custom looks for all the fashion statements you plan to make. So, ladies, we got you covered. Head on over to our website at quinnshooteak.com and also check us out on IG at Quins_Shooteak. And welcome back.
Welcome back to a Productive Vibe, y'all.
Appreciate y'all
That's some
vibing with us.
News you can use.
Yes, we are going to jump into some news here. So, let me get my stuff pulled up. Hold on for a second. Cardi B is in the news. She's covering and planning to pay for funeral and burial costs for the victims that were killed in the deadly Bronx fire. So about a week ago, there was a huge fire, 17 people that fortunately didn't make it in the Bronx, New York. So this article pretty much was saying that she's going to step up and help cover the costs as the families prepare to lay their loved ones to rest. According to at TMZ, Cardi will help cover both funeral and burial costs. She also has teamed up with the Mayor's Fund to advance New York City, which will help those who were affected by the fire. Cardi B said, "I cannot begin to imagine the pain that the families of the victims are experiencing, but I hope that not having to worry about the costs associated with burying their loved ones will help as they move forward and heal." So that's big. Cardi, I know they really appreciate it. That's really big for stepping up and helping take care of the costs and things. That's costly. And 17 people.
And it's sad because there were kids among these people.
Yeah.
I do like the stewardship to just jump up and be a part of the solution wherever you can be a part of the solution. I have been kind of paying attention to some of the news outlets where people are jumping in and kind of covering costs for whatever the reason may be.
Yeah.
Like somebody died, somebody's going through hardship. There is enough money out there when people are trying to get donation or gather up enough money. I do like when people like, our Cardi B's are famous people who step in and say, let me take care of this.
Yeah.
It's something that's a small token. And I think if we're thinking about it holistically, like everybody should be giving that can to things that happen like this, because tragedies are daily. They're often, they're vicious sometimes. And when people come together, that's more the feeling that people tend to remember from the tragedy is how people responded to them. So I'm hopeful that, these families can move on. Big shout out to Cardi B for just doing that. I do know she's from New York, so she probably felt like just something that she can get involved with. But, major shout out to her for thinking of these folks. And I do hope they can heal and move on accordingly.
Yeah, prayers to the families that are, lost loved ones.
For sure.
Walmart, they're planning to create their own cryptocurrency.
So I don't even like Walmart. One, I'm not a fan. They are strong in the prison game. Two,
they are.
What currency you want to create, Walmart? Why you need a currency? People already bringing you all their currency. Them little hip hop prices. You got all the currency. What kind of currency they trying?
So this article was pretty much saying so many companies adding cryptocurrency as a form of payment. It looks like Walmart is planning on taking things to the next level. the giant retailer plan to create their own cryptocurrency and collection of NFTs. Last month, the retailer filed several new trademarks with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office that indicate their intent to make and sell virtual goods, according to CNBC.
So I get it. I mean, it makes sense. Moving along the lines of staying current. We do need to do a show about NFTs. So
I've been hearing about NFTs.
Yeah, so we've had a couple shows. The boardroom who hosts Mr. Finance or Jared McFarland, the financial champion, he talks a lot about NFTs. We need to bring him on and have a conversation about how NFTs are really making a staple or a stand. I am one that I like to have conversation and learn about NFTs, but I'm definitely in the state of learning. Like I have dibble and dabble in it because of work and business and trying to figure out what to do with the artists as they create NFTs and just making sure I'm a strong promoter of what they need to do to execute. So we need to bring this conversation to our listeners. What is an NFT? How does it work? Because some of it is a lot of confusion and myth around what an NFT really is and how you make money from it.
Right.
Like some people do get lucky and they make these little quick, goofy videos and they go for $1 million. That's called popularity. People jumping on the bandwagon and liking everything else somebody likes, and that's, let me throw $1 million at this because I'm going to be seen. So the non-popular or viral moments of NFT versus what is NFT, how do you build currency in it, how do you build currency around it, make money from it, the real conversation, we should have that. I understand where Walmart is going. I'm just, when you're not a fan of somebody, you stop listening. I heard it. I heard how they plan and intend to make money. I am looking forward to seeing how they make their own currency. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to be the catcher for me.
It is. Yeah. It is. So we're going to be on the lookout for Walmart.
Don't pay me in y'all currency. I need regular money. I need to make sure I capture that. You can give me bonuses in your currency. How about that? Can I say that? I'm going to go in a corporate meeting like no payments, but I'll take my bonuses in currency because I can put them somewhere. How about that? What we got next?
So next, unfortunately, another legend, someone big into Vogue, passed away. Andre Leon Tagli passed away at 73. A fashion icon and Vogue's former editor unfortunately passed away at the hospital in White Plains, New York. Don't know the cause of death at the moment. Hate to see.
We've been losing some OGs.
Been some legends going.
Man. I was gonna say at first age was somebody said why can't I think of her name? Betty White. She died too young. She was 99. So at first we think about it like, OGs and how they dying, what's going on. But like it's been some heavy hitters at the beginning and very end of 2021 into 22.
Yeah.
I am sad about it. We didn't really get a chance to talk about Bob Saget.
I know.
Everybody. If you grew up on Family Matters, you grew up with Bob Saget. So I feel like
Full House.
Yeah, Full House. Look at me, Family
Matters.
Y'all knew
Full
what
House.
Y'all know
I had to correct you. I had to though.
Yes, Full House. I love Bob Saget. I love Bob Saget on all other stuff too. The movie scene,
America's Funniest Home Video,
yeah, all kinds of stuff.
That,
just hard to see some of these folks, fall, go. The good thing is that recently, and I'll say since Young Dolph's murder, the people who have been killed, like people really love them. They really deal with them. Like it ain't all these scandal stories coming out of people trying to tarnish their reputation. Like people are really in love with the folks that are exiting. So I'm glad to see people get flowers per usual. And I take a picture of a flower every time I can. I'll take them from the garden. I'll take them from the front yard. But like give people their flowers. Like people need the flowers while they're here. It's short.
While they're here.
We wake up to a post that dictates, oh my God, I just played basketball with this dude and they're gone. Like don't get in that mode where you got a whole bunch of pictures but no real recent stories because you just haven't taken a moment. And you can't, give flowers to everybody, but give them where you can. I try and share flowers with somebody every day. At least one person I try and give some kudos and compliment. And it's starting to build me into understanding that, people are just making decisions and hopefully they're leaving behind a legacy that people respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to jump into the vibe. There's been some good music. And rest in peace to Lake Tally. I hate it, but
to all the ones.
To all the ones. Let's go with change up. Yeah.
Nigga that know the struggle, know where I'm coming from. Man, y'all know me. Yeah, I love everybody. See me out in public, hell yeah, I speak to everybody. But it's one thing I gotta get through to everybody. This shit ain't for everybody. I can't help out everybody. That's just how it goes. Yeah, gotta cook the crows. That's just how the tide flows. Niggas acting different when you just be like, no, real. I thought we was grown, man. That ain't how shit goes. Some of y'all throw my vibe off. Gotta let you go. I ain't throwing shots either. I'm just stating facts. I'm the only one that's trying to put us on the map. Paying to perform, yeah, where your ass was at. On the verge of running, rapping niggas don't know how to act. Please believe you gon' respect the grind. They love to see the journey, but they hate to see you climb. It's been my time to shine. I'm just coming for what's mine. On everything I love, I've been the same the whole time, nigga. Regardless of the fame, I won't change on you, change on you. I can run the game and I won't change on you, change on you. Regardless of the fame, I never change on you, change on you. I can run the game and never change on you. I get super high, then I catch a vibe. They been throwing shade, they can't block my shine. I'm just getting gear, kicking overdrive. Money the only thing on a nigga mind. Fuck what a hater say, I'ma chase a bag. God gave me the talent, got to get the gap. Before the money, did the best with what we had. Them niggas changed up and now I know they mad. Came out the bottom, nigga, I had to grind. When it's time to get it, put in overtime. I gave people time who wouldn't work the time. Now I'm seeing clearer in a different mind. He ain't about his paper, I don't want him around me. You blowing my high, bitch, I don't want you around me. When I'm not around, they gon' talk about me. Showing your true colors, it's cool, just stay the fuck from around me. Regardless of the fame, I won't change on you, change on you. I can run the game, I won't change on you, change on you. Regardless of the fame, I never change on you, change on you. I can run the game and never change on you, change on you.
She said she loved all that much you been off right now. You been peace on baby, you gon' have respect. If I stood up and you know I got a chance. And you love baby, I never would lose you. I know you so tell me so. Where this gon' go? Where you gon' go? Ain't in that slime, no. You ain't slime, feel. Never been in love. I don't love you. You got that good love, baby. You should come and bless me. I bring that AP on your arm right like I just. And you got me like, oh. Baby, let's take it slow, oh. It don't matter what you do. I hate all these bitches too. I hate all these bitches too.
Welcome back. Thank y'all for vibing with us. I'm gonna jump into this last segment of the news. Florida gives first approval for bill created to shield white people from discomfort and guilt when speaking about racist past. I don't like the title of this article. Yeah, so I'm just gonna read from it and we're gonna talk about it. Supported by the Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida passed its first approval for a bill that makes aimed at critical race theory. In the new bill, private businesses and schools will be prohibited from making white people feel discomfort or guilt when speaking about the racist past of our country and discrimination. The bill reads in part, an individual, by virtue of his or her race or sex, does not bear responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. An individual should not be made to feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on account of his or her race.
It reads a little differently in the body of the article, but in the title. So it's a couple things. The reason why we feel the way we feel is because we don't address that we never give enough privilege to understand that there is a problem.
Facts.
We will always feel uncomfortable, black, white, indifferent, always feel uncomfortable when we try and slide over what is already taking place.
Facts.
No accountability, no acknowledgement. There is no moving forward. So again, another bill that goes to the privilege of, mostly white people. It says in the title, white people.
Facts.
It's not that you are to blame. It's not that you should feel uncomfortable when you in harvest, and we talked about your feelings, when you make a decision to own what has happened to a whole race. It's a decision that you make, and it's based off of how you feel. So critical race theory, whether you think it should be taught or not, needs to get to a place where we at least acknowledge and figure out ways to not continue to keep the races that are impartial to what's happening oppressed in the information. When it needs to be taught, realistically taught. I am so pissed to know as an adult all the truths that were never true that I was taught so far away from it. Right. If we're given enough of the information up front, yes, we'll be more powerful. That is the key. That, everybody wants to take the power away, but it brings us closer together on ideas and things that we can probably omit or keep people, connected and make some plans for, that we need to just take more privilege in. So I want to do a really big understanding to this article. One, read about what the bill is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's good. I'm actually saying that it's the opposite of what we need to make a bill about. We probably need to make a bill about getting more acknowledgement than we do making people feel comfortable with the conversation. And then the second piece I always want to put in there is, if you don't want to acknowledge it off a conversation, think about the people that are living through it or have lived through it. There are scenarios that people can't even stomach, that somebody right now is living through, from poverty to whatever it may be, because of the ghetto, the real ghetto, the definition of being around your entire race in this one segregated space. That's what ghetto really is to be around a race in this space. We need to acknowledge those things. We need to acknowledge what bills need to be put in place so that we can have more acknowledgement. So if people are feeling bad or, guilt, discomfort, I'm not really sad about it.
Not at all. That's what we have for news.
It's been a good show, y'all. If y'all haven't vibed with us today, if y'all haven't caught on to nothing we said today, rewatch the show. I know it's something here for you. But to join in next week, same time, 6:00 Wednesdays, Quinn and Classic. Catch us on our IGs, Quinn _ and nextplay.ent for the actual studio. We love you guys. Continue to vibe productively.
Yeah.
Out.